and welcome to the Cook Memorial Public Library podcast. I'm your host, Nate Goss. This, the second week of April, marks the celebration of National Library Week, a time to celebrate the contributions of libraries and librarians and promote library use. So for today's podcast episode, we're taking the opportunity to share with you a little insight into what we librarians actually do at the library. Now, before I move on, it's worth mentioning that while this episode is primarily focused on those who have chosen librarianship as a career path, Cook Memorial actually has around 140 employees, each one of them integral to the library's operation and to the library's ability to offer all of the services that you enjoy. But when it comes to librarians, who are they? What do they do all day? Does anyone really know? Well, we know what we do, but we first thought it would be fun to get insight into what others think librarians do. And so naturally, we turned to students at Vernon Hills High School for their unfiltered opinion.
Librarians organize the books and movies in the library, and they get involved in community activities.
I feel like librarians keep the library quiet and then sort out all the books and stuff, but most of the time they're just going around shushing people because everyone's really loud out there.
Help people find books and answer questions about books.
Be passive-aggressive to everyone who comes towards them.
I think librarians, they help sort out books, they help students research. They know more about all the things inside a library than anyone else does, so they're the best resource to go to when you need help.
I think that librarians, they fix books and stuff and put them in the right places, and they help people find certain information on those shelves and stuff.
So I think librarians help out students who come into the library to help them find new books, help them out in school because there is a study section, and yeah, it's a really good resource for everyone.
So I think librarians help out with children when they're trying to find books or when they're trying to help out other students who maybe need help or, yeah.
All right, well, I think librarians are a very important part of our community. They kind of have a lot of events that they host at the library as well as organizing books and helping out people and finding new books, movies, music to listen to. I think they're really helpful in just finding knowledge and very knowledgeable people.
Probably just a lot of shushing, I would imagine.
I'd say librarians, they're always reading, trying to enhance their reading ability, trying to set good examples for other kids walking into the library. Being the great citizens librarians are, they're always nice, always welcoming to the library. That's what I think librarians do.
I think librarians, they help out people to find books, and they're just good people.
I think librarians try to stock shelves and steal money from late books.
I think a librarian helps people find books and they help organize the bookshelves so that people who come in can find books easier. And they're also in charge of fees and stuff, charging people money for overdue books.
Librarians help organize books and help people find information.
I think librarians help people and learn about books so they can help people find the best book for them, pretty much.
I think librarians organize books.
Librarians can give book recommendations, they organize the libraries, and they're just really good. I know that I use them for research projects. They're really helpful in that aspect.
Turns out, if you want to know what the job of librarian looks like, all you have to do is ask. But the tricky thing is, the job of librarian can look entirely different depending on who you happen to ask at the moment. So for the rest of this episode, here's a small sampling of librarians here at Cook Library who are happy to share what a typical day looks like as a librarian. I hope you enjoy.
Hi, my name is Haley, and I am a reference librarian in the Adult Services Department. My typical day looks like I have two distinct parts to my day. I usually have 4 hours of what we call on desk, and that's when you actually walk up to the desk and you speak to a librarian. That's us, or that's me. And so I'm answering patrons' questions, finding their information, whatever they need, whether they need information on a new diagnosis, or they're looking for family roots, or they just need to know where the bathroom is. I'm there to answer their questions. The second part of my day is what we call off desk, and that's when we're kind of tucked away in our office and we're doing the kind of how the sausage is made in a library, ordering books, we're reading professional magazines or journals, we're preparing for classes that we teach. I lead a book discussion, so I am researching the book, I'm researching different aspects of that book, getting ready for questions, so kind of that type of down and dirty, more of librarianship that the public doesn't actually see. I work in a public library and I work on a public desk because that is my favorite part of the job. I love working with the public. I like people. I like helping people kind of demystify the library. I think one of the funniest things that I had to do, I helped in a police investigation of a theft of a plaque, and they were trying to figure out where in town that plaque was supposed to be. So I had never thought I would be CSI librarian.
Okay, hi, I'm Sue, and I work in the children's department. I like spending time with kids. That's why I'm a children's librarian, and I especially love helping kids find the perfect book, and I like doing programs where kids have fun and learn things too. Okay, so what I never thought I would find myself spending so much time doing was cutting things out of paper, assembling craft supplies. I never thought I'd find myself doing things like making slime or checking out videos that played didgeridoos, and I really never thought I'd end up dressed up like Pete the Cat. In the children's department, there really isn't a typical day, but on any given day, I could be working at the reference desk, helping people in the public desk, or doing research to plan programs or presenting programs. Sometimes I spend time managing the collection, which means ordering new books or weeding out old books. And I get to attend lots of meetings.
I'm Jenny Berry. I'm local history librarian here at the Cook Memorial Public Library. A typical day for me as a local history librarian can go anywhere from just working the regular reference desk and answering all sorts of questions to working on local history specific questions, whether it's helping someone research a house or helping them find out about an early settler or about some building or event in Libertyville. I can pull out files for them. I can do some legwork and get that ball rolling so that when they come into the library, there's materials waiting for them to research. My favorite part about being a local history librarian is the detective work. It's kind of like a game, really, and it makes it really fun to be able to dig into a topic and hopefully find the answer. And I don't always find the answer, but the search for it is what makes it so exciting. When I was in library school, I actually thought that I was going to go into archives, and then I didn't. And so I spent about 20 years of my career just in public libraries and then in a corporate library doing training, doing database work, electronic resources. And now I'm back to really where I started, but it's taken all of the skills that I've learned over 20 plus years, and I can apply it to local history. So I can do the research, but I can do the presentations. I can write a blog. I can interact with people throughout the community. And I think that range of skills a lot of librarians have, and it can be applied in many different ways within a library setting.
I'm Terry Johnson. I work in the Technical Services Department at Cook Memorial Public Library. I'm a cataloger, and what that means basically is I edit the data that goes into the catalog so that it works the best for our institution. I come in the morning, and sometimes we'll have reserves, and those are things that are going to be expedited. Those are things that people have asked specifically for, and we do those first, so everybody gets the things they want the most first. And then we have carts full of about 60 books usually, and one by one I edit data for them, which describes them. We take that data and we put it into our catalog where people can actually see it. Then it goes on from me next to the physical processing where they put the labels on and all that kind of thing. A challenge I had recently was a book for which there was not good information in English. However, the book was a translation from Arabic. I found the original record for the Arabic book and found that it had really good information that I could use in an English record. I think my favorite part of my job, or I've always said this anyway, is classification. I get a kick out of that. I've always rather enjoyed making the Dewey system work because you can go about that a lot of different ways.
My name is Nessa, and I work for Outreach Department on the Bookmobile. A typical day on the Bookmobile is us getting all our materials together, making sure everything is nice and full, and we just drive around and go to various stops and make sure I have my big bright smile on for all my patrons. My favorite part of my job is being able to talk to the kids about the books they're reading. They get so excited when they check out their books, and they like to come and talk to me, let me know what they've been reading and what I should be reading next. Since it's the first time I've worked in a library, I didn't realize that on the Bookmobile we would have to be checking in, checking out, and doing basically every job that is required of a library on the Bookmobile. But it's been very great. I'm loving it. I'm also going to school to be a librarian. I'm working on my master's in management of library and information science at USC, and it is extremely difficult and time-consuming.
I'm Andrea. I'm the Popular Services Manager. Usually part of my time is spent working on the reference desk and helping patrons who come into the library. And then the other part of the day is spent downstairs at my own desk, either ordering books or talking to other people in my department about new projects we have coming up, or even maybe hosting an author event. It just depends. One of the things that's happened that is kind of surprising, or was surprising for me anyway, is that our local Barnes & Noble asked us to provide them with the list of our most popular books. It's for a display in their store in Vernon Hills because that is their way of highlighting the most popular local titles. So they're looking sort of beyond the bestseller list. They want to know what is popular in Libertyville and Vernon Hills. I would not have expected that from them, but I was happy to do it, and I was really flattered that they wanted our input.
My name is Rob, and I work in the children's department. Typical day, come in early, open up the children's department over at Cook Park in Libertyville, put out some iPads, help patrons answer reference questions, find books for people. My favorite part of my job, probably the behind-the-scenes logistics, figuring out what supplies staff needs, specifically in the children's department, ordering those supplies, working with other people, and actually getting those supplies.
Hi, I'm Becky, and I'm the AV librarian here at the library. Often I'm spending at least part of my day on the reference desk helping patrons, and a good chunk of the rest of my time is actually spent ordering. So I order all the movies for the library, all the music, CDs, and also the audiobooks, both the CD audiobooks and the e-audiobooks, which is fun. I think the favorite part of my job is just finding out all the cool new stuff that's coming out. As a librarian, I never thought that I would actually get paid to keep up with things like Entertainment Weekly and Rolling Stone magazine and all that kind of pop culture stuff, but that's part of my job, and I do spend time doing that so I know what's coming out.
I'm Sonia. I am a reference librarian. I work in adult services, and my specialty is genealogy research. A typical day in genealogy research would probably include either I might have an appointment with someone who's come in specifically to talk to me about their genealogy. They might have a special question like, how do I find my ancestors' naturalization papers? Sometimes I might be working on the reference desk in just a general reference capacity, and someone will come up and say, I've always wanted to research my family. How do I get started? I also do programming. So on any given day, I might be giving a program to a group of people on a specific topic, like how to use newspapers in genealogy research. We have a networking group that meets once a month, and so try to get some conversation going and information sharing that way. So it's kind of a wide gamut of what we do here at Genealogy. It's all fun. And one of the things I like about it is that it's so different. There are so many different aspects to researching somebody's family history that you'll never get in a rut. So one of the things I like about it is the variety, because you might be doing census work one day, and then talking to somebody about their, German ancestors the next. So another thing, though, that I like is helping people who are getting started, who have never done research before, because so many of us have jumped into it in the middle and just kind of found our way, that I feel like if we can catch somebody at the beginning and show them some principles of research and how to go about it, maybe they can avoid some of the mistakes that a lot of us have made. Surprisingly, genealogy can make a difference in people's lives. I remember we helped one woman find her birth family. She had been adopted, never knew where she came from, and I don't know if she's been reunited with them yet, but she was able to find who her birth mother was and that she had siblings that she'd never known about before.
So I'm Terry, and I work in the Children's or Youth Services Department. A typical day has me getting up and down a lot from my chair. I might be getting up and down from my chair, sitting at the reference desk, answering questions. Or I might be sitting at my desk down where I work, looking for supplies, asking questions, going to a meeting, things like that. Generally speaking, I don't think I would like my job as much if I didn't get to interact with children and all their adults, whether they were grandparents or nannies or big sisters or moms and dads or big brothers. You know what? I never thought that I would participate like at the farmers market that we have on Thursdays, sitting at the library's booth and interacting, and doing story times out there amidst the crowds of people during the summers. Never thought I'd do that.
My name is Joe, and I work as a reference librarian in adult services at the Cook Memorial Library. My favorite part of the job is definitely the people. I love it when patrons come up with a new question. It really pushes my abilities, and I love being able to find things for them, whether it's legal papers to help them fight foreclosure or a book for a kid who just wants something new to read. It makes my day being able to send them away with a smile, or at the very least being able to send them in the right direction to find what they're looking for. One thing I don't think people would often associate with the library, but definitely something we offer increasingly, are maker spaces. I'm currently in charge of putting together the library's own makerspace, which we're calling the Workshop, which is going to be providing patrons with access to technologies they might not otherwise be able to use, from 3D printing, virtual reality, vinyl cutters, and sewing machines. And it's been a challenge, but it's been really fun being able to put everything together, figure out how they're going to work. And I'm really looking forward to when we roll it out later this year.
My name is Ellen, and I'm the Collection Development Manager for Children's and Adults. A typical day for the Collection Development Manager, you never know what's going to happen. You may start out thinking you're going to work on one thing, and as people stop by with issues and questions, it always takes another direction. I enjoy all of it. I get to touch many different collections within the library. I get to work with every different department in the library. All the employees talk to many employees, different departments, and I love that. I would say my biggest challenge is trying to figure out how we can make something work for the public and for the staff at the same time. When we're working on a new project, someone has a great idea, and it sounds great, but underneath there are so many layers, so many things you have to consider. Boy, something I thought I'd never have to do as a librarian. That is a loaded question. I started out as a children's librarian, and I never saw myself cleaning up various things off chairs or carpeting. Never thought I'd do that. One summer I was helping out with the summer reading club, and I was spray painting giant atoms to be hung through the library out in the garage. I never in a million years thought I'd be doing graffiti for the library.
Brooke, Aspen, and Outreach. Probably one of the most often things I do in my job is deal with unique situations with the public. I think the favorite part is seeing a building and materials and people and technology work all together, and different experiences every day, having people that walk in the door and can't believe what we offer. Sometimes meeting people have moved from different countries where they don't have libraries like we do, and they are in absolutely amazement of everything we have to offer and so appreciative. So I think that's one of the best parts, is seeing the public very happy and very excited about this community service.
Thanks for listening to our special National Library Week podcast episode. I hope that you take the time this week to stop into the library. If you don't have a library card yet, or you know someone who doesn't have a library card, this is a perfect time to come in and get to know the library a little bit. Say hello to some of the librarians and just discover all the different services that we provide here for you. We want to thank you for listening. We hope you have a great rest of your week. If you want to reach out to us anytime, you can always talk to us on Twitter @Cook Library, or send us an email. Webmaster@cooklib.org is the address to send those to. If you like this episode, please take the time to share it with someone who you also think might enjoy it, maybe over on your Facebook or on your Twitter. Let them know they can subscribe to our podcast in Apple Podcasts, or really anywhere that they like to get their podcasts. We hope to see you at the library, and we will be back soon. But until then, keep reading, keep watching, and keep listening.